modify this one. Have we all finished our horizontal alignment? With all the tangents and the curves. Maybe I've finished. Yes. Let me just finish this one, then we'll continue. Let's come back. Yes, put the flash.
Flash on green. Your black and red.
Like a boy, like a move. Let me just finish the alignment. Very fast. Just finish, I think, the alignment. 1 hour. And I'm just doing it. I didn't use enough slide down. I didn't get it. Yeah. Just for the sign. Just finish this line very fast. Just finish it. Because obviously not my just a flow or something as well as that. Yeah? Yeah, we have to do junction design at the end, so you have to design the entire room. Just have to do Windows first. Mangiare, no? Just go back to Windows 10.
How? With the flash?
Just already can put Windows 10. I didn't accept the work. Yeah, but this alignment, I'm almost done with it. So we just use this one. Let me just finish this one. And I'm not really sure. Almost done here. Kind of what you need. This one actually. Just put Windows 10. Windows 11 has issues. That's good. And you're like this, and you practice something in the space of 4 weeks. I'm not sure. Just send me the information. I don't know for the next one. understand it. This one will take like a few minutes. The surface here is as a movie. So you can. Yes, and then we should continue and finish at 3.
Next week you can finish. Then they'll finish doing their free time.
Yeah, free time. Yeah. So you can
Nice for taking one. Taking one.
I put what? Charge it. Which one do you use?
Go ahead and listen. Hello? How many of you have the alignment already drawn and labeled? You have the alignments. Those that don't have the alignments well created. So I'm assuming the time you've been having that you were able to draw the alignment properly. Okay? So we're going to continue to editing the alignment label styles and alignment styles. So you go to alignment, we are going to click on the alignment. Let me get back our tool space. Okay. I'm going to go to the alignment. So what you see here, on the green is representation of the alignment, which is the line. That green line is the alignment, and that is the style it's taking. How you can edit the style is that you're trying to edit the line itself. It can either be a dotted line in top of the line or the color of it. So for example, the styles can vary. You can have styles for the proposed alignment, you can have styles for an existing alignment, you can have styles for an offset alignment, you can have styles for a connected alignment, so on and so forth. So you just keep editing some of these styles depending on the functionality. So we are going to click on we are going to start with editing the alignment style itself, then you go to the label style. Label style is the chainage that you see that is created along the alignment. So we are going to go to edit alignment style. So as you can see, the information we have here, the alignment style that we chose was proposed as a style. Then if you go to the design, you can enable the radius snap, which we already created the alignment. Then we have things like markers, but most likely we are going to be dependent. The style is going to be dependent on the display, especially by color and also by line type. So we are going to vary the line type. Probably we can change these line types, the color and the type, by highlighting. On the, for example, on the color, here it's by layer, but you can actually choose to change the color values. And here the alignment is the composition of different elements that includes the line. It composes of the line, the curves, and spirals, mostly, okay? Spiral curves. Transition curves. Trying to connect from one.
We introduce derivation gradually as you enter the curve and spiral.
Okay. So we can change the type by either changing the color. So I can use maybe crayon throughout, since it's the same alignment defined by curves, lines, and spirals. And I apply. Once I apply, as you can see, my alignment has changed to a different color. The other quickest way is that I can highlight one of them. You hold on to shift and then you go up to spiral. Then I click on one of the colors. I will choose, say, purple. Click OK. Then they can all change at once. Then once I apply, as you can see, the cell has changed. Now we can also change by line type. I could use dashed in case I wanted to. There are multiple types of line types. So I can use dashed in this format. Once I apply, it's so minute, but there is a simple change, as you can see. Yeah. So that is about the style. You can create your own style depending on the functionality of the alignment that you have. Okay? So that's quite a bit easier. To go back again, you click on the alignment. You can either access that information from up here. You click here, you come to edit alignment style. Okay? Access the same information, you go to display, and then you should make sure that you're in plan view, not in section view or in model. Section view would be when you're viewing the cross section, then model will be in the 3D, how the alignment will look like in 3D. It will not be a line, but in a 3D model, it will look differently. So once you want to vary what will look like in 3D, you can also vary from there, also include in the section to also be varying accordingly. So we can have that edited that way. Then we are going to go to alignment label styles. So I right click, then I can access my alignment label styles from here. So as you can see, these are the different labels that are identified along the alignments. We have major and minor stations, which are major and minor chain edges. Then we have geometrical points, we have station equations, we have the end speeds. This one has multiple. Some of them, you could only just bring a few of them, could be around 3. But depends on what information you want your alignment to display. The other thing is the format of the chain edge. I think here is showing it's in 100. I hope all your chain edges are in 1 kilometer plus, right? Okay, so we are going to come to our label styles, come to labels. So I'm going to first delete all of these, edit one by one. So I'll apply. Once I apply, all the labels will disappear. Okay. So the first thing that we want to add is the major station. In this case, once I click on the major station type, I can add, right? Now apply, you can see the major station has been able to pop up. However, as you can see, there are different also label styles that are attached to the major station. We have parallel with the ticks, we have perpendicular with line, then we have perpendicular with ticks. Now what a tick is this simple line that cuts across, it's a perpendicular, simple, short line that cuts across the alignment. If I choose, for example, here I've already added the major station. Once I double click here and I choose a new style which is perpendicular with the line, click OK, and I apply that change. As you can see, this is perpendicular with the line. Instead of having a tick that cuts across, you're having a line that stretches from the alignment, right? And it has the chain edge along them, okay? So we are going to edit one of these styles to fit whatever we want. So I'm going to go back to edit my alignments. We are going to edit majorly. I would like to use this style, which is perpendicular with lines. So instead of, I could probably just delete this and edit this one from here where I drop under the icon, then I edit the current style. You remember this layout, right? I could probably edit it from here, or equally once I've added it and it is by default, it is the same style. For example, here, if I choose perpendicular to the line, okay, then I apply. I can choose to edit it from here by double clicking and still accessing that question line from here, where I can easily edit the alignment and in the layout. Are we there? Are you following, or are you also doing while you're following? Maybe let me first edit, then we can do it a bit together later. So what we have here is that we have major chain edges, which is the stations. So we have a line, and the station value is anchored onto the line, just like you see here, right? So we have a line, then we have a station value, okay? So as you can look at the component name, just like yesterday, we had component names of point, elevation, and point description here. So we have, this time around, we have station and line, right? So the station itself is, if you come to contents, is defined by an equation of station value. There are multiple equations here, but we are most likely looking at station value, which in some software they usually call it chain edge value. Okay, it's literally the same representation. So it's defined by that equation. There are a lot of things that you can be able to change. One, these contents, you already have a value called station here. I can choose to eliminate that, and I click OK. When I choose to eliminate that, the equation will remain, and then the station will be off. Okay. The edits that you can do is, one, you can increase the text size, you can increase the color, you can add a border, you can italicize it, you can change the font. We looked at that yesterday. Okay. So we can try to do that, whereby we can change the text color by layer, or I can choose one of these. I can probably choose yellow. We can increase the height. I can increase this height to 4 millimeters, right? I can choose an anchor point. Say this is top left, top center, middle left. I think this works better for me. So far, that's what we have. Then we can have used an anchor attachment of middle left, okay? Then our color we are taking is yellow. I can also add a border, which is true. I can also add a border. This border, we can also vary the gaps between the text and the border. You can increase that gap value, for example, to about 1.5. Okay, so it's a bit decent. I can also change my type to rectangular, rounded rectangular. I can even define this by a different color. Perhaps I can take white and have something like that. So that is about the text. I hope you've looked at the properties, right? Yeah. So that is about the text. First thing we did, we went to our contents. We removed the word station. We can equally, during this same time, on stations, there is what they call format, station format. Once you look at here, some of them are already set to decimal. This is when, instead of giving you kilometer 5 plus 150 meters, it will give you something like, for it to be increasing in terms of 100 meters. Once it's close to 100 meters, the one will transfer on the other side of the chain edge. So instead of 100, it will be giving you 1 plus 0, 0. Yet the other side is supposed to be, with station format, it's supposed to be a kilometer first before the meter is coming in. This side, the meter, once it's close to 100, the value will separate itself from the zeros, and then it will become like 100, which is 1 plus 0, 0 for 100 meters here. So you make sure that your format is in station format. As you can see, then the character, it's 1 plus 0, 0 for chain edge. I've switched those values, those instances whereby it is not in this format. Equally, you can also change the text. Last time we changed the text to Times New Roman. Okay, so as you can see, Times New Roman has been able to change. After you've edited contents, then you can go to text height, which is 4 meters. Orientation of our text is 0. Attachment is middle left. Color is 50. Then we made our border true from false. Then we had a rounded rectangular border. Then we also changed that border by color and also increased the gap between the text and the border, which is 1.5. So once I'm done with that, then I can move on to the line. I'm just done with the text. Also in the component name, we have line. Now this line, there are a lot of things you can do, probably. So probably we can, we may not really be able to change. Our anchor point of the line is anchored onto the feature. Our feature that we are dealing with is the alignment. So our line is anchored at the beginning of the feature. Then the text is anchored onto the line. So the anchor endpoint is false because it is the line that is anchored. So it's the text that is anchored onto the line. So we just let it be a perpendicular, but its starting point being anchored to the alignment, which is perpendicular to the alignment. The things that you can edit here is one, the fixed length of the line. We can probably stretch that to say about 50 millimeters. The line is an angle of 90, perpendicular to the alignment. Then the other thing is that we can also adjust by color of the block. Say we can choose this to be a white line. As you can see, everything has changed to that format. You can choose a different color per se. You can even choose a different line type. Either you want it to be dashed or in a different type of manner. So once we are done with that, I'll click OK, and I'll click OK. Once I apply, you should be able to see some of those changes come to life. As you can see, this is what we have. Okay. Yes, question?
Can you change from right-hand side to left-hand side?
Yeah, of course. Remember when you had 90? You can have 270, which would cross on the other side because the anchor point of the line is either 0, 90, 180, then 270. Okay, so you can explore that too. I'll come to my adjust element label. Upper bench is the line, edit the current selection. Then I'm going to go to my line, component name. I'm going to adjust this to 270, orientation. Then click OK, OK, and apply. So it's on the other side now. Okay, we can move on. Fine. Then we are going to add minor station. Minor station usually just has one label, which is just a tick. You can choose to add text on it or not, but not necessary. Then you just add that. Once you add that, we have an increase of the minor label at 10 meters from the major line. Then you make sure they are being viewed. Sorry. Then you can apply those. Okay. Does it appear? So we have our ticks appearing this way. These are the minor ticks, right? They don't really have any text per se in them. So allow me, I'm going to be changing this line since we already have an image behind. We are going to change this alignment style by coming to display. I'm going to change to a brighter color. Perhaps a color that pops. Let me choose this. Let me choose a different color. Use green. Let me use red. Red is better. You can be able to view it from afar, right? Yeah. So that's about the alignment label styles and alignment styles, right? We can go on about alignments. As you can see, we have other things like about alignments. You can create an alignment from an object. I can demonstrate that a bit quickly, whereby you have a polyline. As I draw a polyline, this way and that way, this way, enter. Then I come here, create an alignment from an object. I'll click and identify the object of interest. After I've clicked on it and I've selected the object, I'll click enter. Then they are going to ask me which direction are we taking from the 0 to the end of the alignment. So if this is the direction of the interest, then it's okay. If that's not the direction of interest, then you click on reverse. But if this is the direction of the interest, then you just click enter. Okay? So should we reverse or should continue? Should continue. Okay, let's reverse. So I click on reverse. As you can see, the arrow has already changed. Okay? Then it has come to alignment creation tool, right? So I can just create my alignment and call this. Let me just call this alignment object, obj. The rest are the same. You have the sites, right? Sites are like containers with which you can have your project in. Then you can, you can even add your things of design criterion, depending on what form that you're going to be using. You can use a design criterion with the rest of the standards. After you've highlighted that, depending on where the alignment is going to be, it can be able to define for you. Or depending on the classification of the pavement, can be able to define for you the design speed. So once you allow for that, now remember we have corners in this alignment, right? So corners, they can replace these corners, which are like pivot point with a tangent. And they are defining that our default radius could be probably 200 if it allows for that. Once I click OK, my alignment will be able to show up. And as you can see, I think the radius is not good enough here. So probably you can just increase that value. It's 100, so it has to be a little bit thick. Okay? So this is the alignment that we created from one object. You can still highlight it, right click, come to alignment label styles. You can add now the measure with line, add. Then you can even add the minor with ticks, add, then apply. So okay. Then you have things that you already edited. Since you already edited your styles, they're already existing in the what? In the drawing. So you don't need really edit every time you creating the alignment. So that is one way. We have other features like having alignment from a corridor. So,